Yo, what's good, everyone? It is Sunday morning, October 5th, 9 a.m. We have about an hour before kickoff, so wanted to go live, wanted to answer some questions. We are going to have some fun as well. I would also like to do some drafts on Underdog. So let me get this set up real quick. Hopped in kind of last second, getting all of the technical things in order. And yeah, here we go. This is what I was hoping for. I'm going to answer your questions as they come in. So let me know if you have any. But for now, I do have some bonus funds that will be expiring on Underdog that I won over the weekend last week. And I want to make sure that I get those to good use. So I'm going to hop into a daily draft while I handle y'all's questions. And my favorite one is the primetime hurry up for $3. Winner gets 2K. There are 7,500 people in the tournament, so that's not like a low number, but still, I think a very good return on investment. You can only do 20 of these. I've already done 10, and the only two games eligible are Sunday night and Monday night. So the Patriots versus the Bills, and then the Chiefs versus the Jaguars. A lot of upside with some stacking potential. So let's hop in. If you want to join me, you can use code BLUNT on sign up. There's one spot left, and there is like a big beam of light coming in. I think that's better for lighting purposes. But yeah, like I mentioned, if you all have any start say questions, let me know. Right now, I don't see any chat questions unless my chat is frozen. But we are underway. So we got pick 4. Honestly, not the best pick in this tournament here, but you can make it work. You can definitely get a little bit more unique, and there's always going to be players that fall in value that are worth it. But great, Scott, in here with some questions. Appreciate you, man. It's going well. I got tickets to the Charger game this afternoon. I'm really stoked for that. And yeah, should be a good day. Very psyched. But teams in this draft with me: Al Howe 555, B Naz T, and then Beef Squatch in at pick 3. There's only 6 rounds. You have to draft one quarterback, one tight end, one running back minimum, and also 2 receivers. And then that last pick is a flex, whoever you'd like. But in my opinion, the games to be chasing, I mean, there's only 2 available, but the teams to be chasing would definitely be the Bills and the Patriots. And then there's a chance that Mahomes goes off, but I would try to be avoiding most Jaguars. Like other than Travis Etienne, because running back is kind of thin in terms of the player pool available. Like James Cook went off at 2, Etienne's there, and then after that it's Travion, Pacheco, Ramondre, Kareem Hunt, Brashard Smith. It gets ugly. Tootin's kind of interesting. Ray Davis doesn't get enough touches, but if Cook were to go down, that'd be an interesting play. I doubt that works out. But here we are. And based on the lack of quarterbacks, I know for a fact that Team 3 will be taking the third one at pick 11. So I think my hand is forced. I'm going to have to go Mahomes here. And then there is the risk that I get kind of boxed out at tight end as well. Odds are that doesn't happen, but I honestly think that the Travis Kelce stack might actually be more appealing. It's definitely between Mahomes and Worthy here. But let's be a little more unique with it. Let's go with some ancillary pieces. Let's go Travis Kelce. Last week, Worthy did have 8 targets. Definitely the safer play, but he also didn't score a touchdown. It's also possible that happens again. So this is my pick here. We go Travis Kelce, and then we do need 2 receivers, and I may regret not grabbing Worthy, but we're trying to be somewhat different. there's going to be a shit ton of teams that have the Mahomes and Worthy stack. There's plenty of teams that have all three, but we'll be one of the teams that does not use Mahomes and Worthy together. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really glad that Daniels is available. I was kind of bummed when I found out Terry wouldn't play, and then when Debo was not totally healthy with a heel, he wasn't practicing most of this week. I was like, shit, this may be a bad game. But I want to see them win, so I was kind of like, okay, at least there's that. But we got Debo on the field. There's Ertz, there's Daniels, and there's also like a lot of Hall of Famers on the Commanders defense. Like Von Miller's playing for them. Bobby Wagner. But Diggs is here. I think Diggs has a good week. And then we also need a running back. So I'm going to go with Diggs. I think he fell a little too far in this. I think Diggs is a very high upside play this week. Revenge game for him. And then Travion, I definitely think is the higher upside running back swing for sure. So let's assume that the Kelsey stack is just so dominant. Like, imagine if Kelsey scores 3 touchdowns, you know? Mahomes is not going to throw like 7 of them, you know? There's a chance that all of his touchdowns go to Kelsey. Not convinced that's going to happen, but it is possible. I'm surprised this team with Drake May went Keon Coleman. That feels like a strange bet when you have May. But back to your questions. Great Scott is asking, start 2. We got Rachaad White, Kenneth Walker, Tet McMillan, and A.J. Brown. I think you have to go with Rachaad White in your lineup, and then beyond that, it's kind of a toss-up. How lucky do you feel with A.J. Brown? Feels like you kind of have to go with him, but against Pat Surtain, it's not the week I want to be forcing it. I think I'm going to be benching A.J. Brown, and I feel like the toss-up between Walker and Tet is really close. In full PPR, I'm going to go with Tet McMillan. I think McMillan will get some solid volume. They do get Leggett back on the field, which is a factor that you never know how it's going to go. But Tet on paper has a very decent shot at a touchdown this week. So I think Tet is a solid play. Give me Rachaad White and Tet McMillan. Dang, I was hoping for Tyquan Thornton there. I really was. So will we mix it up with Juju? That's definitely a decent strategy. I have to draft at least one receiver here, but I think De'Ami Brown actually has some very legit upside in this game. But I will take Juju. I will grab the stack. We will take Kelsey and Juju stacked with Mahomes. And then with this last pick, I suppose we could go Kareem Hunt also for the stack. But I also like Brashard Smith. Let's try and be more unique. I've already have 10 teams. And let's bet on a potential Brashard Smith breakout. If he's a stack you need, then that would definitely eat into the argument for taking Worthy or Hollywood earlier on. Obviously a gamble, not a guarantee by any stretch, but from a unique standpoint, I like this team a lot. We got a good value on Diggs, and then we locked up the Kelsey stack, but we did pass on Worthy. Most teams at 4 that go Mahomes are grabbing Worthy in this tournament. So that's how it goes. Some other teams in here. We got the Drake May drafter with ETN and Dawson Knox at the tight end spot. So that's one problem about this. You can't really get boxed out at tight end and have to go with a backup. Never feels good. Keon Coleman, Hollywood Brown, and Tyquan for this team as well. Feels like having the Mahomes stack is probably better for that specific strategy. And then there's the Kincaid Strange drafter that has Lawrence. They also have Shakir, Worthy, and James Cook. So feels like if you end up with Lawrence, it's kind of just the worst scenario. And that seems to happen with every team with James Cook for the most part. If the James Cook drafter doesn't get May, then it's pretty brutal for them. But the Allen drafter goes with Brian Thomas and Kayshon Boutte, so no stacks for them. Hunter Henry at tight end, tough matchup for him. Ramondre instead of Travion. Could work out. We'll see. And then Pacheco and Brian Thomas. In all honesty, of all the Allen teams I've seen, this is not one that I feel envious of. No correlating pieces and like some rough names there. But honestly, in daily, you never know what combo is actually what you need. Okay, back to the chat. Great Scott asking start Fields or May at quarterback. Wow. Very close call. My personal bias, because I have Drake May on both of my fantasy teams, is to go with Drake May. I think he does keep this close with Allen. I think it's a shootout. But Fields has the best matchup on paper. I really don't think you can go wrong. I really don't think you'll regret either. But I would go Drake May. That's just my own personal. Like, I have them at 2 and 3. Take whoever you want. Take whoever you want. Start 2, A.J. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., Chris Godwin, DeMercado, Michael Carter. Yikes. In full PPR, I'm going to go A.J. Brown, and I'm also going to take Chris Godwin. I'm going to pass on Brian Thomas Jr. The Chiefs are just so good at locking up number one wideouts. And in full PPR, I think there's a bit more volume for Godwin this week. Last week, he had 10 targets. Brian Thomas is mainly like a big play, touchdown, upside type of play. Like, if Brian Thomas doesn't give you like a 40-yard reception, then he's rarely giving you like 12 targets. At least not with Trevor Lawrence. For some reason, that's just not the case with T-Law. It was with Mac Jones, but he also had a bunch of injuries opposite him. I'm going to fade Brian Thomas, and I'm also going to fade the Cardinals backfield. Give me A.J. Brown and Chris Godwin. Great Scott. Good luck. Speaking of which, will DeMercado or Carter be more valuable the next few weeks? I think if you're in full PPR, I'd rather have DeMercado, but not that significantly. It's very close in full PPR. In half PPR, I give the edge to Carter because I think he's more of the touchdown goal line guy, and I think more involved on first and second down. But DeMercado has more pass catching value. It's very close. I think it's really a coin flip between the two. Sivan Leg says full PPR flex Downs, Malik Washington, Kendry, JCM, and DeMercado. Okay, you're in the weeds here. Give me Kendry Miller for sure. Love his matchup. I think he scores a touchdown this week. The Giants are a very good spot for running backs like Kendry Miller. Better on the ground than they are against pass-catching running backs. So like Kendry Miller this week, start him even in full PPR, and then I don't think we're going to go double running back. I'm going to fade JCM in a big committee. DeMercado also a bit of a committee, so going to pass there. I'm going to go Josh Downs here. With Alec Pierce not playing, he has a concussion. I think the Josh Downs connection has a little extra value this week, a little more target distribution in favor of Downs. Give me Josh Downs. I have no idea what to make of Malik Washington. It's interesting in Miami, but I'm going to fade him. I expect Waller to grab more of Tyreek's value than Malik initially. So give me Josh Downs and Kendry Miller. I like a touchdown for Kendry, and then I see the most volume for Josh Downs. Another question. We got Travis Hunter and Ridley on waivers. Are they worth dropping one of these guys to get them? Stephon Diggs, Jameson Williams, Matthew Golden, RJ Harvey. I'd rather have every single player that you mentioned on the waiver wire. Oh, no. You have these 4 players. Would you drop one of them to pick up Hunter and Ridley? Got it. No, I don't think I would. Ridley's not fully healthy. Travis Hunter is not shown up yet. There's a chance that Hunter and Ridley are great pickups off the wire after this point, but I think what we've seen from the players you have, I would not move off of them. I'd much rather have Diggs this week than Ridley. I love the upside long-term on RJ Harvey. And then Golden, I'm a little worried about the receiving core in Green Bay getting healthy. Like Jaden Reed and Christian Watson are going to play this year again. And if Golden doesn't break out before they arrive, I don't know what Golden will offer. Golden's the riskiest one of the bunch here, but I think I'd rather hang on to him heading into next week than Hunter and Ridley. I would not pick up Ridley and Hunter and drop one of those guys. Anthony Perkins says, I'm 0-4, desperate for a win here. Kyler or Adam Prescott? I think you mean Dak Prescott. I'm going to go Dak Prescott. Kyler might run his ass off, but he's had no upside this season. Dak has put up some really good games and is looking just as competent even without CeeDee Lamb. So I would go Dak Prescott. Adam Prescott, I have no idea who that is. Maybe just since my name is Adam, it was a Freudian slip. But Mike says need one wide receiver and one flex between Michael Carter, DeMercado, AJ Brown, and Olave. We are going Olave at receiver, and I do not trust the Cardinals backfield yet. Give me AJ Brown in the flex. I know it's a tough spot. I know he's been brutal, but I would still trust the second round pick that you made, AJ Brown, over the Cardinals waiver wire claims you grabbed over the week. Give me AJ Brown and Olave. Olave, though, I think will have the best game of these four. Demetrius says, good morning. Would you start in the flex Ramondre Stevenson or Michael Carter? Very close here. And I think in the Patriots game, there's actually higher upside if Ramondre is actually the guy, but I really believe this is a Travion Henderson game. Give me Michael Carter. Don't feel good with either. You need a touchdown. I'm praying for you, Demetrios. But good luck. I would go Michael Carter. Angel A says Kyler or Jackson Dart. I had a very tough time ranking these two players. I will be honest with you. I believe Kyler is the way to go. It's just a safer floor. It's just safer. It's not flashy. Kyler has been bad so far and just like a really low floor play. But he's also never busted. Like, even though 15 points from quarterback is disappointing, it is not the end of the world. It is something you can come back from. Jackson Dart, at some point, is going to put up a atrocious game. Like, at some point, Jackson Dart is really going to shit the bed. It could be in his second game. He's on the road in the Superdome. Tough environment. I would go Kyler Murray. He's playing at home against the Titans, and his running backs are out. I think Kyler runs for like 50, 60 yards this week. So I would go Kyler. I think the floor is safer, and the upside is relatively even. Give me Kyler. Teddy Belcher says Mark Sanchez will go to jail in Indiana. I bet he wish it was Ohio. Can't say I know the legal ramifications of being in Ohio versus Indiana, but yeah, that was a crazy story. Like, I gotta be honest, I actually really enjoy Mark Sanchez games when he is the broadcaster. Like, in the 1 a.m. window, if you have Sanchez calling the game, it's actually pretty entertaining. Like, it's maybe not the most marquee. I'd rather have Greg Olson as the announcer, but if you're switching between like a Tom Brady broadcast and a Mark Sanchez broadcast, sometimes the Mark Sanchez broadcast is actually more entertaining just to listen to. I actually think he has some sweet insights sometime. That was a crazy story, though. It was fucking sad to see. Colby, though, says Waller or Juwan, full PPR. Got to go with Juwan. So much volume for Juwan. Kind of worried about Taysom Hill coming back, but not worried enough. Rattler really favors Juwan, and the Giants' defense doesn't really scare you. Give me Juwan Johnson. Waller's so touchdown dependent. In full PPR, I would expect heavy volume for Juwan Johnson, but I assume he's active. Last I checked, let me pull up the inactives. Also, let me set my lineup. Let me make sure my lineup is set. We have another 40 minutes. I got a little bit of time. This would be my lineup here. Is it in frame? Yeah. Okay, so we have... This is the Blunt League. This is the subscriber league. I got Drake May, Hampton, Travion, because Bijan is on bye. Egbuka's locked into the lineup. I'm kind of thin in terms of wide receiver depth. We have Adams already playing earlier in the week with 11 points. Not terrible. Wish he scored a touchdown. I'm rocking Tommy Tremble at the tight end position this week. Love his matchup versus Miami. Kittle is on IR. And then we're rolling with Jacoby Myers in the flex. I think I trust him more than Kendry, but I'm actually tempted to go Kendry Miller. The injury to Brock Bowers, though, is why I'm keeping Jacoby here in the spot. And then Chargers defense, I have the Packers on bye. And then Jake Elliott is my kicker. We benched Herbert, but I'm going to the game. I will be rooting for him in spirit. Tyjae Spears, I'm hanging on to. And then someone dropped Darnell Mooney. I picked him up. I think he'll be healthy, but mainly just a long-term stash. I think he's okay. Kendry, interesting play this week, but I think I'll bench him. That's that team. I'm not going to make any changes. And then my other team, Jerry's Dementia. This is a 12-team full PPR league, and I made some errors at the draft. I had the 3 slot, and I wish I had some picks back. But we will go Drake May at QB. I'm benching Herbert. I kind of want to put in Drake May just so Herbert on this team just so I have one of each and a reason to root for him. I think I might do it. You know what? Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I have both quarterbacks on both teams. In weeks when I want to start both, I'm gonna mix it up. We'll go Herbert. I got J.K. Dobbins, Quinshon Judkins. Judkins having a good game. No touchdown for Judkins, but did give me the 100-yard bonus. 23 for 110. 1 catch for 18 yards. Damn. 128 yards from Judkins. Not bad. Hunter and Ridley, I'm sadly rolling with them. I have Drake London on bye. CeeDee Lamb is on IR. The CeeDee Lamb injury really screwed me over. Thankfully, I'm 2-2, and I'm going with trip tight ends in the fucking flex, bro. Trey McBride, Hunter Henry, and Zach Ertz in the tight end spot. This is kind of ridiculous. But Rams defense gave me a -2, and then Brandon Aubrey hopefully comes in clutch. But this is my other team. Could we go Harvey over one of the tight ends? Maybe. I might bench Hunter Henry for Pollard. I got some time to think about it. But Tyjae coming back makes me a little reluctant to fully trust it. But perhaps... Oh, no, that's not the move I wanted to make. Hunter Henry for Tony Pollard. That might be decent. Anyways, the reason... Why did I even come here? Right, to check the inactives. Okay. Who's in, who's out? I'll check these inactives, and then I promise I get back to the chat. Why is that? That's weird. Miles Sanders, inactive. Brock Bowers, inactive. Oh, Bowers inactive. Shit. Mayer also ruled out. Okay, I'm definitely going with Jacoby Myers this week. But Taysom Hill, active. Good for him. Foster Moreau, activated. Good for him. Juwan is active. Yes, back to your question, Colby, I would start Juwan over Waller. And then Tyrone Tracy, inactive. Late games. Oh, no, these players are already ruled out. All players we knew and expected. Yes, every name I recognize. Late games. Status on Ridley. Yamanor is a safer fantasy option. Lockett and Van Jefferson might end up playing more snaps than Ridley regardless. Yeah, I feel really gross starting Ridley. Not happy about it at all. Anyways, let me get back to y'all's questions. This was a reminder on the screen. The daily draft. I drafted at the top. We had Mahomes, Kelsey, Diggs, Travion, Juju, and Brashard Smith out of the 4 slot. But let me get back to the questions. I am falling behind. High Frog says, can JCM run against the Chargers? It's either him, Jamar, or Adonai. I would go Jamar Chase 100% over JCM. I do not trust JCM's workload yet in this offense. It's more of a committee, and I think it's an even split between him and Chris Rodriguez. So needs a touchdown. Don't like the matchup. Chargers, very bad spot. Trust Jamar. The Lions secondary isn't that scary for Jamar Chase. He'll get enough volume. Got to go Jamar there. Angel A, start 1 at flex. Diggs, Olave, Michael Carter, or DeMarcado. Give me... Damn, I really want to give you Diggs. Olave gets a good matchup. I think Olave is the safer play, but I think Diggs is actually the higher upside play. I would definitely bench the Cardinals running backs, and it's your preference. Olave is much safer. Olave's been getting more volume, but Diggs has way more upside. Diggs can actually give you more than 50 yards. Diggs can also give you multiple touchdowns. I think they will give him one. I like Diggs a lot. I think in my heart, I would go Diggs. But if I was just trying to be like, the safe, high floor guy, just a lack of bust potential, I would go Olave. But I think I would take the swing on Diggs if I really wanted the upside. Full PPR, flex one, BTJ, Godwin, or Dowdle. I have Baker and Igbuka going already if it matters. Flex one. Got to go Dowdle. Very tempting to put in Godwin, but if you have Igbuka, you already have the stack. And there's always the chance that like one guy goes off and one doesn't. And imagine like Igbuka has 2 touchdowns and Godwin does nothing. So while you do have a higher floor with Godwin, I think you have a higher ceiling with Dowdle. I would go Dowdle. I would bench Brian Thomas Jr. for sure. But give me Dowdle. Demetrios asking full PPR, Juwan Johnson or Darren Waller? Give me Juwan Johnson in full PPR for sure. Also, AJ Brown or Chris Godwin. Damn, that's very close. I got to consult the rankings I have. I would go AJ Brown. I have them 3 spots apart, but I do have AJ Brown in a tier above Chris Godwin. I think I would have to go AJ Brown. But very tempting to go Godwin. Very tempting. Mike, you're welcome. Great Scott, you're welcome as well. Woods Girl, full PPR, pick 2 to start in flex, please. Chase Brown versus the Lions, Devontae Smith versus the Broncos, or Diggs versus the Bills. Give me Diggs 100%. And then the second one, I don't think I can go Chase Brown. I got to go Devontae Smith. In full PPR, Chase Brown not going to see as many targets as Devontae, most likely. He does offer some PPR value, but if you told me one of them scores a touchdown, the other does not, I would put my bet on Devontae Smith. Give me Diggs, 100%. Love the revenge spot for Diggs. And then Devontae versus Denver. Gary Yo asking full PPR, should I pick up Dicker or drop McLaughlin? I would take the Chargers kicker, 100%. Chris, to the core, Kelsey or Laporta, rest of season. Tough. I think I'd go Laporta just because he's much younger. Kelsey is going to play well in like big games, but in general, he's not going to offer that many touchdowns. I prefer Laporta. You drafted him higher. He's younger. Kelsey turns 36 in like 2 weeks. Maybe like 1 week. Kelsey is getting old. Give me Laporta, rest of season. Gary says, full PPR, should I start Hunter Henry or Juwan Johnson? The matchups, I'm actually really bad for Hunter Henry. In full PPR, you'd probably get more volume for Juwan, but Taysom Hill coming back does kind of throw a wrench into everything. Hunter Henry's just been so good, and I see a lot of upside, a lot of touchdowns and points in that Patriots game. I'd go Hunter Henry, but it is very, very close. In full PPR, I think it's a closer decision, but I think the touchdown is more likely for Hunter Henry. SATX, good luck today. Pollard or Stevenson? I think I'd have to go Pollard. I'm worried that Ramondre loses his job entirely. With Pollard, he might lose some touches, but not the entire job. Like Pollard's not getting benched. Pollard's also not going to fumble twice. I would go Pollard. But Joe Phelan asking non-PPR, Chase Brown or Henderson? Give me Travion. Give me Hendo this week. I think the breakout is coming for Travion in this game. I believe it will happen. Looks like we got some spam messages as well. But I did catch up to the chat. So with a half hour remaining, let me know. I'm gonna drop a poll. What do you guys think I should do at the flex? Should we go Pollard, Hunter Henry, or RJ Harvey? In full PPR. In full PPR, who would y'all put in your lineup? if you were me. Pollard, Hunter Henry, or RJ Harvey? Chris, you're welcome, man. Good luck to you as well. Bruce Leroy says flex Pittman, Woody Marks, or Ken Walker. Full PPR. Ooh, this is very close. I'm really tempted to go Woody. I would go Woody over Ken Walker, actually. I prefer the matchup for Woody Marks over Walker. But I really love the matchup for Pittman, and Alec Pierce is inactive. I would go Michael Pittman. Gary, you're welcome. And then Club Adart says, hey, I have so many guys on bye this week. Full PPR, Sharp or Harvey? Ooh, full PPR. Give me Harvey. I would go RJ Harvey. Sharps isn't catching passes for some reason. It's kind of strange. The Bucks do give up a lot of receiving yards to running backs, but this season Walker has been the pass catcher, not Sharps. I would go RJ Harvey. But Woods Girl says half PPR, Brees or Genty today. I think I got to go Genty. The only problem with Brees is that he's just not scoring touchdowns. It could, at some point, he's due. At some point, it'll click. If you believe it's going to happen, I wouldn't blame you for fading the Colts defense against Genty, but I don't fear it that much. And Genty had 3 touchdowns last week. The upside's so much higher. Brees gets vultured. Brees is just not finding pay dirt. I'd go Ashton Genty. Good luck. Bruce, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. And then, like I mentioned, I wanted to do another one of these drafts. But maybe we do one that's a full slate. This one's $7, $2K to first. This one's $3, $1K to first, but much smaller prize pool, only $5. Let's do the higher payout. I'm going to do the $7 one. Smaller pool of contestants. The smaller the pool, the higher chances you have of getting paid. Also, there's only like 20 minutes left on this, maybe less. And I don't know if this is going to fill. We get the 3 slot. Bummer. I wanted a top 2 pick. Not having Taylor or Gibbs feels very risky on this. But I am watching the Browns game as well in the corner. Final minute, Vikings just converted a 3rd and 3 to Jordan Addison. 52 seconds left. Wentz is driving. They're down 3 points. I believe they're in field goal range. Yes, they are. So they want the touchdown. They want the game. But it might go into overtime. I do have the Browns +3. So if they score a touchdown, I will be sad about that. I think I have them at +3.5. High Frog says, in a 12-man, someone dropped Tracy. Do I pick him up or try to get Kendry, Trevor Etienne? I think I'd rather have Kendry Miller rest of season. Aaron Jones is 30 years old. Scadaboo's a rookie who looks phenomenal. I think Tracy will lose that job. And if you're having a backup, give me the one that can actually like win out. That's not injured as well. I would go Kendry Miller. Not going to trust Trevor Etienne. Not yet. But if I don't get Gibbs here, I'm going Amon-Ra. We do not get Gibbs. You have to start 2 receivers. And although there's a lot of players to choose from, having one of the most elite guys that's just like such a lock, no-brainer, I think I got to do it. Might regret it, but I think we'll be okay. I like some upside on some other running backs a lot more. And then I think I'm going to go Garrett Wilson here or Nico Collins. Addison scored. Damn. Well, I'm losing this bet. I did pick the Vikings to win. I'm glad about that, but I did have the Browns against the spread. I think I have to take the matchup versus Dallas. It's just too fucking good. Can also go Nico Collins. That's pretty tempting. Actually, yeah, I already have a team in this with Garrett Wilson. I'm gonna go Nico, but Garrett Wilson a very very good pick as well. Just mixing it up. Mike Duke says Taysom Hill or Gadsden. I'm gonna go Taysom Hill. And then we'll go Jake Ferguson at tight end. There's going to be good values at quarterback, even though Fields is probably the best bet. It's not a lock. Quarterback's always a bit random. So I'll get the guarantees while I can. I have Ferguson as my tight end one this week, so would rather have him than Warren or McBride. And who knows? Fields is still falling. There's a chance we get Fields coming back. But I would not expect to get Dak. The team right behind me has Pickens. Bowers is inactive. I'm going to go Ashton Genty as my running back. Give me Genty. The Cowboys have a lot of injuries on the offensive line this week, so I'm going to prefer Genty over Javante. Also, really love David Montgomery in this. Montgomery could be a smash. Such a good matchup against Cincinnati. I think I'm going to go David Montgomery. I think so. Yeah. Let's do that. And then last pick, we need a quarterback. Have to draft a quarterback. We could go Goff. Given I have Amon Ra, it's not a terrible plan. I also have Montgomery, so definitely could work out. But there's also Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones should fucking crush this week. He's had some bad games though. Nah, let's go Dak Prescott. Actually, no. I'll take Jared Goff. I'll take the stack. Let's say Montgomery does catch a pass. Doubt it, but let's go with Goff. Let's stick with the stack. High Frox has voted for Harvey, having some second thoughts as always. Henry might be in a shootout. Starting to get spammed because the channel's blown up. If it wasn't for your rankings, I would have taken Connor over Igbuka. You're welcome, bro. Glad that worked out. Igbuka's been fucking awesome. Okay, we got 20 minutes. I kind of want to do one more of these. Oh, that tournament filled. I think so. Okay, we'll do the $5 one. Am I going to do the... Actually, no, I'm going to do the $3 afternoon slate. Let's do this. Okay, so only the late games. David asks Jordan Love versus Bo Nix overall. I think I'd rather have Bo Nix. I mean, Love is definitely valuable. I don't think they're that far apart, but I'd rather have Bo Nix. Runs the ball a little bit more. Sweet. We get pick 2. Oh, damn. I wish I could get Gibbs. I wish. Oh, fuck. We're so close. I'm hoping Team 1 gives us a gift. But the difference between Gibbs this week, especially against Cincinnati and Hampton, Hampton got some injuries on the O-line. Hampton should be good. I think I'll take Hampton here. But damn, I want Gibbs. Same setup as always. Six round. Yeah, 6 rounds, 2 receivers, 1 of everything else. Good for Wentz. Got the game-winning drive. 4-point victory. Good for him. Gibbs goes. Will we take Hampton? Yeah, it kind of falls off a cliff. Montgomery's really valuable, but there's no guarantee that running backs make it back to me. We got 8 picks, and that's a valuable position that thins out fast. I'll go Hampton. If I can get Rashad White, I'll take Rashad White. I'll also take Montgomery if he comes back, but I feel like it's very unlikely that happens. And if you're telling me I have to pivot to Chase Brown, Tony Pollard, DeMercado, Charbonnet, JCM, yikes. I mean, maybe Sean Tucker blows up, but fuck that. Give me Hampton. Safer bet for sure. Okay, so also we're repping the Charger gear. Gotta take a Charger. Maybe we just bet on this game since we're already invested. I mean, in terms of quarterbacks, I think I prefer Herbert. So that's not a bad idea. I think I'm going to go QJ. Yeah. Team behind me has a running back already. I will leave them Jaden Daniels because I think they would still take QJ. I'll give them the Daniels-Debo combo. And I'll go with QJ. If he snipes me on Herbert, that would be a bummer. But I think this team is going to go Daniels and Debo. They go Chase. And Laporta. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to fuck around. Give me Justin Herbert. Yeah, give me this Chargers stack. I'm going to this game. Gotta bet on it. Let's go. Hi, Frog. Drank a ton of coffee and looking at stats all morning. My brain is fried. Good luck, man. I was never a coffee drinker. And then lately, as I've been getting older, there have been times in the morning where it's like, yeah, maybe I should see what this is all about. It's not bad. I don't drink much coffee. Very rarely. But I'd say like now once a week in the morning, I'll do it. Okay, so we got the Charger stack rolling. There's the team at 1 with Gibbs, Jamar, and Laporta. I assume they're vying for Goff. But the team with Amon-Ra did take Goff, and Amon-Ra Pollard. And then there's the Seattle combo with JSN Ken Walker. They took Amari DiMercado. Kind of a bold stance on DiMercado there. I'm surprised Debo made it that far. Debo should have a really good game. Egbuka goes, if Ertz comes back to me, I guess I can pass because somebody already has Laporta, but there's always the chance that someone goes double tight end in the flex. Ertz is my preference here, but if I get stuck with Keenan or JMO, I'm not going to be upset. Ladd, at some point, Ladd should be good, right? But not yet. Damn, Ertz goes. In that case, I might go with Otten. That's probably what I'll do. But this team behind me already has one, so I'm not going to take him. Keenan goes. Is this the week to take Ladd? Maybe it is. It feels very risky, but we are very committed to Herbert. We will go with Ladd. Let's do it. Sidekick Kid, thank you for the donation, my friend. We got start Devontae or JMO, full PPR. I'm going to go with JMO. Very close call, but I think I'm going to go with Jamison Williams. The Bengals game, they could drop 50 on Cincinnati. They really could. So let's go with JMO. Speaking of which, I think that's going to be my pick here. However, there's only 2 rounds left. And then there's 2 teams that don't have a tight end. One of them is the Baker team. I will just take Kate Otten. Love the matchup for Kate Otten. With the injury to Bucky Irving, it's even more likely that a touchdown is in his favor. I will go Kate Otten. The Seahawks give up a lot of catches and targets to tight end. They're very good against receivers. Give me Kate Otten. I would have much rather had Zach Ertz, though. No doubt about it. But I'll go with Kate Otten. Anonymous, can BTJ please do something? I hope so, man. I don't think this is the week. I think he'll have some good games later in the season. I think you got to be patient with him, but I don't think this is the week where Brian Thomas Jr. steps up. Terrible matchup here. Just look at Neighbors against the Chiefs. Not a good spot. Dev says drive raping has been a great game changer for me. That's my cup of coffee. A tip of the cap to you. I love that for you, bro. Nav Singh says Mason Taylor or Tremble in full PPR. I'm going to go Tommy Tremble, 100%. Top 3 matchup for Tremble this week. Taylor benefit from the same matchup last week, and I trust the matchup against Miami more than I trust Mason Taylor. Give me Tommy Tremble. Nav agrees, says JMO for sure. Yes, this is correct. Growing Stuff says pick 3, Walker, Woody, Pittman, Chase Brown, or Keenan. I am on the clock. Give me 1 sec real quick. Kind of want to go Torrey Horton. Kind of want to go Luke McCaffrey. Yeah, give me Luke McCaffrey. Terry's out. We wanted Ertz. There's an argument that would Luke McCaffrey is going to play really well. Noah Brown also out. There's volume in store for Luke McCaffrey this week. I'll take Luke McCaffrey. But back to your question, Growing Stuff. Walker, Woody, Pittman, Chase Brown, Keenan Allen. We have to pick 3. I'm definitely taking Keenan Allen. You also have Pittman in here. Give me Pittman and Woody Marks. I would bench Kenneth Walker. Really tough matchup against the Bucks. If he is not catching passes, which is not a guarantee to be like off the charts, I don't think you want to be going against the Bucks. Tough spot. I'll pass on that. Dev says smoking was starting to affect my teeth. Gotcha. Yeah, smoking sadly comes with those factors. Dev prefers Mason Taylor. Dev, Allen, or Ladd at my wide receiver 2 spot. I'm going to go Keenan Allen over Ladd. I've seen more from him. But let me get back to my roster. I'm going to close the poll. If you haven't voted in the poll yet, let me know your thoughts on my flex decision. But it's not this team that needs the flex play. We are pretty locked in with this team. Jerry's Dementia. This is the team that could be better. Taysom or Henry? We're going to go with Hunter Henry. Daniel Jones or Hurts? I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. Soul Pancake says, took 3.5 for the Browns plus, and they lose by 4. Yeah, same, bro. Of course. I mean, it's becoming a trend. If I pick a team against the spread, they are so unlikely to actually cover. I am so bad against the spread. It's not even funny. I'm at my parents this Sunday. Pretty sad they pay so much for cable, don't get NFL Network, and can only watch 2 free games. NFL should do something. I know it's a kind of a backbreaker watching NFL games, and they shut down a lot of the streams on like earlier this summer, this season. I would agree, Dev. Safer bet to go Allen. I got sniped on Keenan, and I took Ladd in this DFS thing, but I'd feel better with Keenan. Okay, I'll close the poll. It looks like Hunter Henry wins. It looks like Hunter Henry is the winner. Okay, that's what we'll do. We will swap out Pollard with Hunter Henry, as I was planning to do already. The question is, do I drop Travis Hunter or Calvin Ridley or Tyjae Spears and pick up a different receiver? I kind of want to go with Jalen Tolbert, to be honest with you. That's actually, I think, what I'm going to do. I would go Trey Tucker if I could. Problem is, I don't really want to drop anyone. Like, it sounds insane to hold on to Ridley and Tyjae and Pollard. Like, I got 3 fucking Titans on this team. It feels crazy. I'm also holding on to Travis Hunter, which feels fucking stupid. But, like, the sunken cost of letting them go, it feels so sad. Fuck. I think I'm going to drop Tyjae. Damn it. Fuck. Doing this live also hurts as well. Pains me, but I don't think I can hold on to him. I'm going to do it. I don't trust that Ridley's even going to play. I need someone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Tolbert in this morning at the Jets, and then if Ridley plays, I will decide in the moment if I'm going to roll with Travis Hunter over Ridley. But honestly, I also feel like I might be dropping Hunter tomorrow and starting De'Ami Brown. I don't trust my receivers at all. But Kevontae Turpin's out. I think Tolbert has some upside. Pickens has a kind of tough matchup on Sauce Gardner. I think there's a little higher upside with Tolbert this week. So I'll go Tolbert. I've been wanting to do it. But the reason I waited this long is because now the player I'm dropping gets locked over the game period. Like until Wednesday when waivers run, Tajay will still be available if I want to pick him up. So got rid of Tajay, but this is bad. Anyways, start 2, flex Dobbins, Pittman, Woody, Carter, DeMercado. We're going to flex Dobbins and Pittman. Dustin. Flex Dobbins and Pittman. And then, hi Frog, congrats on the Underdog sponsorship. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, hopefully we can provide some good opportunities this year that are, backed by some data. I feel optimistic about the rushing quarterback prop bet. The entry I showed you on the quarterback video earlier this week. But anytime you're betting on a parlay, odds are slim. But 4 players, I've never had a payout that high on just 4 players. So I'm really hopeful for that. This is the pick in question. Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Justin Fields, Bryce Young, all expected to give me a rushing touchdown. At least that's what I'm hoping for. We have 4 picks, and the payout on $10 would be $575 if it hits. Anyways, that's it for me. I'll see y'all guys next time, and peace out. A reminder, play 5, get $100. New customers on Underdog. Promo code BLUNT on signup gets you this deal. Play your first 5, get $100 in bonus funds using code BLUNT. The link to sign up is in the description. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye. Good luck.